debunking election fraud, unraveling how the alternate slates of electors were established, and describing the terrifying threats that were made against election officials. The January 6th committee laid out their evidence in the longest hearing so far today. The conservative Republican Arizona House Speaker Rusty Bowers outlined several phone calls he had with former President Trump and Rudy Giuliani. Both asked him to decertify the election based on evidence that never materialized.
But Mr. Giuliani was claiming in the call that there were hundreds of thousands of undocumented people and thousands of dead people who had purportedly voted in the election.
Yes.
And you asked him for evidence of that.
I did.
And did you ever receive from him that evidence either during the call, after the call, or to this day?
Never. He said, we've got lots of theories, we just don't have the evidence. And I don't know if that was a gaffe or maybe he didn't think through what he said.
When no evidence arrived, Speaker Bowers told both the former president and Giuliani he would not go along with their suggestions to either decertify the election or replace Arizona's electors for Biden with electors for Trump.
On more than one occasion throughout all this, that has been brought up, and it is a tenet of my faith that the Constitution is divinely inspired, of my most basic foundational beliefs. And so for me to do that because somebody just asked me to is foreign to my very being. I will not do it.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensberger and Georgia election official Gabriel Sterling both testified to finding no evidence of fraud in Georgia that would have changed the results of the election. They debunked the alleged suitcase under the table at the State Farm Arena vote counting center, a conspiracy that claimed $18,000 ballots were secretly counted for Biden in the middle of the night. That was not true. Video evidence proved that. In fact, Raffensberger and Sterling both testified they recounted all the Georgia ballots 3 different times and always came back with the same result. Trump lost Georgia and the state went to Biden.
The numbers were the numbers, and we could not recalculate because we had made sure that we had checked every single allegation. And we had many investigations. We had nearly 300 from the 2020 election.
Despite the repeated evidence that there was no fraud that would have changed the outcome of the election, the committee says alternate slates of electors for Trump were established in states where Joe Biden won, including Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New Mexico, Nevada, and Wisconsin. The chairwoman of the Republican National Committee testified the RNC was tapped to help the Trump campaign gather those alternate electors, though she says they were told the electors would only be used if the legal challenges succeeded in court. As we all know, more than 60 Trump election legal challenges failed across the country, but that didn't stop this plan for the alternate electors. They met, and this video shows the actual documents these so-called fake electors submitted as official elector certificates to the National Archives. All of the state elections officials who testified today talked about the terrifying threats that they received for not following along with this plot to possibly overturn the 2020 election. But perhaps the most heartbreaking was the testimony from Wandrea Shea Moss and her mother, who were longtime poll workers in Georgia. Both mother and daughter became the targets of former President Trump and Giuliani. The claims made against the mother-daughter duo were all false.
I don't want anyone knowing my name. I don't want to go anywhere with my mom because she might yell my name out over the grocery aisle or something. I don't go to the grocery store at all. I haven't been anywhere